I held a knife, staring intently at the turning doorknob. Then I rushed forward, stabbing the dagger into the man's hand. But strangely, he showed no reaction at all. I sensed he was approaching, so I stabbed again with the knife. This time, he finally stepped back, but the atmosphere in the room remained tense. Just then, the police suddenly arrived and carefully pushed open the door, saw me, expressionless, and glanced warily at my bed. I said nothing, but he still detected danger.
내 뒤에 누가 있냐? 궁금하면 들어보시다.
He quickly held me hostage, but the killer had already left. In fact, that man and I were childhood friends. We had tortured and killed animals together since we were kids. As we grew up, our minds became more distorted. We often killed innocent people indiscriminately, and even exchanged experiences with each other. That day, I seized the opportunity, killing a passenger who got out of the car. The whole process was smooth and seamless. By the time he reacted, I had already escaped without a trace. Unfortunately, that person happened to be the police captain. The next day, the policeman went to the captain's house to celebrate his birthday. But what he saw in front of him almost made him collapse. But he couldn't find any clues at all. Before long, my childhood friend fell in love with my girlfriend. Behind my back, the two of them actually got together secretly. So I killed my girlfriend unexpectedly. My childhood friend held a grudge against me because of this. He reported me anonymously and shifted all the crimes we had committed together onto me alone. Due to the lack of direct evidence, I was only sentenced to 15 years in prison. The unfair verdict made the victim's family lose control on the spot. Cries filled the room, but I felt nothing in my heart. Just as I was about to be taken away, that policeman rushed up. He grabbed my collar, saying he would never let me go. Then he punched me hard. The solemn court immediately descended into chaos. Everyone swarmed forward, tearing at me frantically. Only a little girl stood quietly in place. 15 years passed, and I was released after serving my sentence. It was that hateful policeman again. He repeated the same threats as before, saying he would keep an eye on me forever. His harassment annoyed me, so I checked into a hotel to relax. But unfortunately, a murder occurred in the hotel the next day. The killer's modus operandi was almost identical to mine, so the policeman suspected me again. He took me to the police station, trying to get something out of me. But how could I answer for something I didn't do? Due to the lack of evidence, he had to let me go. When I walked out, I bumped into a girl. Little did I know, at the time, she was the police captain's daughter. Last night, she had also appeared, near the hotel where I was staying.
A grenade suddenly landed in the trench. I was scared and dropped to the ground. Yet after a long while, the grenade didn't explode at all. I picked it up and examined it closely. Only then did I realize it was just a snowball. I casually threw the snowball back, but the next second, more snowballs flew toward us. The battlefield, once filled with bullets and artillery fire, became a snowball fight paradise at this moment. Before long, the German troops began to retreat. We climbed out of the trench and found out that the German soldiers had set up a Christmas tree right at the front line boundary. They even took the initiative to invite us to celebrate Christmas together. Listening to the German leader sing affectionately, we gradually let our guard down. We even took out our liquor as gifts. Then everyone sang Christmas carols together. It was as if we all forgot this was a battlefield. Suddenly, a German officer pulled out his pistol. Seeing this, we immediately raised our guns on alert. It turned out the leader only wanted to give his sidearm to the US troops. Our officer not only declined the gift, but also gave a grenade in return. The leader hung the grenade on the Christmas tree, regarding it as a symbol of their friendship. The two sides thus observed a truce for the whole night. The next day, when we went out to patrol, we ran into the German soldiers by chance. They were already fed up with the war. All they wanted was to surrender as soon as possible and go home to reunite with their families. But to avoid implicating their families, they couldn't surrender directly. They needed us to cooperate in staging a fake battle to fire off all the remaining ammunition. The soldiers from both sides reached an agreement. Under the officer's command, we and the German soldiers all raised our rifles, pointing the muzzles at the sky. The next second, both sides pulled the triggers simultaneously. Gunfire rang out one after another until all the magazines were emptied. This ridiculous scene made everyone burst into laughter. If wars could really be like this, so many people wouldn't have to die. Just then, an accident happened. A German soldier was suddenly shot and fell down. The shooter was a new recruit in our unit. He had no idea about our plan at all. He heard the gunfire and rushed over, thinking the two sides had started fighting for real. Our captain hurried forward to stop him, but was shot and knocked down by the German officer. Everything happened in the blink of an eye. Before the two sides could explain themselves, a new round of fierce firefight broke out. With a huge gap in firepower, the German troops were soon completely annihilated. I stood there dumbfounded, staring at the tragic scene in front of me. Just a few minutes ago, everyone was sitting together peacefully. The captain was hit by several bullets and was dying. Before his death, he told me not to reveal the truth, since what had happened couldn't be undone. Don't let the new recruit live in guilt forever. In the end, the higher-ups sent people to the scene. They commended the so-called heroic new recruit, and even transferred him away from the front line, while we, the ones who knew the truth and were immediately sent to fight in the next battle.